Hi, welcome to Teach With Me. I am Miss Jen. I am so excited to finish our A to Z directed draw with you. We are going to be working on our zebra today. It's a cute little zebra. And you're going to need your felt tip marker, but I cannot find mine, so I'm using a Sharpie, but I would not give kindergartners a Sharpie. For the most part, you're going to need a pencil. You're going to need lined paper like this, turned horizontally, because that is how we've done all of the rest of them. I'm also going to show you how I put my book together. So remember at the very beginning of this, when I told you about this project, I said we were going to be making a project that I would display at open house so that they could take it home at open house. And it's a project we did all year long, and this is how it's going to look. Whoops, let's go like this. My A to Z directed draw and writing book, and then just some sort of picture. I chose the magnet letters as a fun visual. I used the chart rings to put mine together. You can do the combs, the binding combs, but I find that that's not as secure as the chart rings. Now, this can be hard to do if you do it at the very end, right before open house, when you have all of the other projects to do. So what I suggest is that each week when you do this project and you put them all together with the writing with the artwork, that you hole punch it then. So then when you get to the letter Z, or your last letter that you're doing, all you have to do is put the chart rings on and it's finished. So that is my suggestion. I am going to first, before we begin drawing our Z, show you all the ones we've done up to this point, and then we'll work on finishing up with the letter Z. Let's begin. Whoops, let me turn on. Okay, I'm going to flip through these pretty quickly. So the A is for apple, B is for bee, C was for cactus, D is for duck, E is for elephant, F is for fish, G is for grapes, H is for helicopter, I is for igloo, J was for a jar of jelly beans, K is for koala, L is for ladybug, M is for mouse, N was for nest, O was for owl, P is for pig, and you can see with the chart rings it's easier to flip it. Q is for queen, R is for rockets, S is for snake, T is for tiger, U is for umbrella, V is for volcano, W is for whale, X is for x-ray, Y is for yak, and back to our cover, and we're going to do Z. Alright, so you're going to tell the boys and girls to make sure their paper is horizontal. In the center of their paper, they're going to make a large oval. And then you're going to tell them we're going to make another oval above this one to the top left, and it's a smaller oval. This one's sort of slanted. So now they have two ovals. Then you're going to tell them to draw a line from the top of the top oval and down to touch that larger oval, and then come to the bottom of this oval, and well, not the bottom, but almost the bottom, and you're going to touch the other oval. Now keep in mind, everybody's is going to look different. This one's going to have a really fat neck, and that is just okay. So you can just tell the boys and girls everybody's is going to look different, and that's what makes these so cool. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is on the face, I'm going to make a sort of a line along the bottom with a little curve. We're going to make one eye, and I'm going to color it mostly all in. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white spot. That one is a little smaller of a white spot than I originally was going to do. If you look at my sample, I made it a little bit bigger, but that's okay. All right, now on his head, I'm going to make 2 small like an upside down M, 2 triangles that are coming off the face directly. Now, right next to that, on the top of the head, I'm going to make an M shape. These are his ears. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make his mane. So I'm going to make a line that comes out from right next to the ears, and then a sort of a wavy line that comes all the way down and stops at the body. Now I'm going to color that in. It's going to take me a moment to color this in all the way. I really have missed doing these videos, you guys. It's just been a crazy season. I'm going to be moving on to some really interesting reading videos, as well as some various art ones and math. So I guess lots of different things. All right, now on his, this one's got a really fat neck. That's okay. He's going to have a lot of stripes. All right, now before we do the legs, I'm going to do the stripes on the body. So I'm going to draw some long, skinny triangles. And they can all be different. They don't have to be the same. And they're going to go all the way to the bottom, or not all the way to the bottom, but almost to the bottom of his body. Now I'm going to pause it for a minute while I color these in. All right, all colored in. Now we're going to come up here and do the tail. So it's just going to be a kind of a long line, and I'm going to put a little pom-pom at the end of it and color that in. All right, now the legs. So for the legs, obviously 4 legs, I'm going to do 2 that have a joint in them and 1 that doesn't, so like this. So I'm going to draw, first going to draw a line, a slanted line, a straight line, a slanted line, a straight line. Then for the slanted lines, I'm going to make a little section that slants inward a little bit. So this one and the third one. And then all I'm going to do is follow it up. I'm going to go short line, come up to the joint, and back up to the top. For the straight lines, I'm just going to go back up to the top. And then I think I'll go this way on this one. All right, now what you're going to do is you're just going to draw, first you're going to draw a little line along the bottom of these. I think this one's a tad short. Let me make that a little longer. And then you're just going to color in the bottom. This is the hoof. I think it's the same thing with that one. All right, and then I'm just going to make some stripes. Now, how am I going to do my background? So we're going to say that our giraffe is on the savanna. So I'm just going to draw a horizon line. And then I'm going to just simply color the grass as if it's a, let me show you, the grass as if it's a savanna. So all I did was I would tell the kids, you're going to need your yellow, you're going to need your brown, and you're going to need your green. And I'm going to say color the grass mostly yellow. We're drawing a grassland. A grassland is mostly dried grass. So then I would say now we're going to add just a little bit of brown to it. And I'm going to make some things like this to make it look like some grass stalks are up, some dried grass stalks. And I said I'm going to add just a teeniest little bit of green. And then for the blue, I would take a blue shading crayon and a white. For the white, I'm going to draw some clouds, and it might be easier if you tell the boys and girls to go like this, you know, just make sort of a cloud shape, and then color around that. And then use a blue to color in the top. All right, let's move on to the writing. So for the writing, they're going to need a piece of paper that is lined like this. I had stopped doing the prompt, but since this is the last one, I'm going to go back to using the prompt for the moment and just show you. You're going to complete the sentence. Z is for, and everybody's going to write zebra. You're going to have that written on the board, and I'll show you that in a moment. So Z is for zebra, period. And you're going to make sure the kids are using their spacing. Now, I have at this point had the kids using a frame the entire time. If you want to, since this is the last one, you don't have to have them use the frame to copy from. Maybe they do this on their own now because it's the end of the school year by the time you get to the last letter. Let me show you the frame first, and then I'll show you what I would do if I wanted this to be kind of an ending assessment piece, if you will. So this is the frame I would use. So Z is for zebra, and then their second sentence, zebras have stripes. Did you know they have a long memory? That's just a fact that I came up with, but there's others that you could do, of course. So because I've done this frame the whole time, maybe you guys have talked about zebras, and then they do their last writing assignment on their own and they sound out everything. But that's up to you because this is a display piece also. So you could have them do it on a scratch piece of paper, and then you correct it, and then they put the final piece here, the part that goes in the book. It's up to you. But what I would do at this point right now is I'm going to show you how I've done it all the way through Z. So then I would say, okay, you've done the blue sentence, time to do the black sentence. Zebras have stripes. Honestly though, by this time, most of the boys and girls can do this on their own. They might need help with you, making sure they're in the right spot, but in general, most of the kids at this point can do this by themselves. You say, okay, what do you want to say about zebras? I'm going to say, did you know zebras have all unique stripes? Or did you know zebras have a long memory? I'm going to say, excellent. I want you to sound that out. Remember your spacing. Remember to start your sentences with your capital letters and all of that good stuff. All right, and so once they're done with their writing, it's going to go with their picture, and they are going to be done. And now this is our completed one. Their picture goes with their writing, and it goes in the book as our last page. Well, I hope you found all of this interesting. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. I do have more content coming, and I will see you next time.